I think to really get our minds around these sounds and letters, I want to take us back to what the research from the National Institutes of Child Health and Development came up with, the National Reading Panel. They identified 3 non-negotiables of early reading. And this term non-negotiable means that it's so well documented in the research that we can't even discuss it anymore. We simply have to do it. And the first one of those is phonemic awareness. The child has to learn to recognize the sound parts of a word, be able to manipulate them. The ability to take a word and identify its sound parts has been identified as the single most reliable predictor of the ability to learn to read. So a child who can't do those phonemic awareness skills, red flag, we've got to go back and we've got to help him. But we're not going to wait until he fails at reading. We're going to play these games and we're going to make sure he develops it in the right sequence, even before he goes on to master the letters. The second non-negotiable is the alphabetic principle, that the child understands the relationship between sounds and letters. You know, the United States has been through some called the reading wars of kind of a highly politicized controversy over whether we teach phonics or whole language and going back and forth. And there was a time when in our country the alphabet was not taught. Children were taught to recognize words by their shape and configuration and how they appeared in a sentence, what would be logical. But that's really what the most inept readers do. So we want to teach this relationship of the sounds and the letters. And that's the third non-negotiable of this is the application of those 2 skills to the reading and writing program. And this is actually where many schools fall down in their, they understand we need to teach the alphabet, they understand they need to play phonemic awareness games, but they don't take those skills and apply them in their reading program. So what Age of Montessori does in the Royal Road to Reading is very directly apply those skills. So I want to show you how directly those skills actually work. I can say the word cat, and let's say I want to write that word. Okay, how do I get to the point of being able to write it? I have to think in my mind, what are the sounds of cat? K, a, t. Then I have to know which letters each one of those sounds represents, and I have to then be able to, in Montessori we use a movable alphabet. The child just puts the letters down on a little mat, or he takes a pencil and writes them. In either case, he's had to know 2 skills. He's had to be able to segment the word into its sound parts and associate each one of those sound parts with a letter. Okay? If I want to then read a word that I see in writing, what do I have to do? I have to look at it. I have to analyze. Okay, that says k, at. I have to be able to recognize those letters, associate those letters back to their sounds, and then I have to blend those sounds together into a word that's recognizable to me. Now, in American schools, there's a model of interventions. So a child doesn't really get extra help in learning to read until he fails. But the problem with that is that once a child has failed at learning to do something as important as reading, their confidence is in tatters, their attitude towards learning has soured, and they don't know how to read. So we have to not only teach him how to read, but we have to try to restore that confidence, and we have to try to recreate a positive attitude towards education. And in many cases, that doesn't happen. It's very difficult to do. So we have many children who, because they fail in school, the way that they're taught, they end up dropping out, or they end up with hating learning. And how can you hate something that's so wonderful that expands the world to you? But it happens. It happens every day. So our approach is diametrically different in the Age of Montessori. Our approach is to teach reading carefully, thoroughly, step by step, sequentially, so that no child fails. No child needs to fall through the cracks. The research has been very clear